Yep, come up, Femi. So it's the clicker and the green button for clicker.
Cool. Yeah, hi, my name's Femi. I'm founder of HackerFemo. Technical difficulties, no. So yeah, I started coding when I was 7. And, wait, no, other way around. I started coding when I was 8. And when I was 9, I set up South London Raspberry Jam through crowdfunding to share my passion for coding with other young people who might not otherwise be exposed to tech. Since then, I've run hundreds, literally hundreds, of coding and robot workshops across UK and globally. In 2017, In 2017, I was awarded an inaugural Legacy Diana Award by Their Royal Highnesses Prince William and Prince Harry for my service to the community. At South London Raspberry Jam, we welcome young people with autism or, like me, Tourette syndrome. Because, coding linked me up to a wider community of like-minded and similar people. And I kind of just want to do the same for others who might also benefit from that. For me and my mum, it's been quite a journey. From South London to the world-famous Tate Modern Museum, all the way to Bangladesh, and then to the States, to San Francisco, where I did a keynote talk to around 7,000 delegates at the Red Hat Summit 2018, which was really cool. So yeah, I set up my business about a year ago, and I've been running workshops for almost 3 years now. And over this time, I've noticed that for young people, it's becoming increasingly important for them to have collaborative and community-led initiatives. So being able to get out there into their community, find something, to do with coding, get to meet other people who are also coding and network, and be able to share experiences and stuff. But also having career-ready skills, so that the next generation are going to have to solve the next generation of business problems, and it's sort of making them ready with the skills that they will need. So yeah, on this journey, I've noticed, out of all of the things that I've noticed on my journey, they all have one thing in common: the power of open source and the importance of developing community. And today I want to talk about 3 of my lessons. So the first one is the value of reaching out and collaborating. Secondly, the importance of partnering with enterprise. And finally, perhaps the most important one, the ability to self-organize and persist, which translated into English means having a can-do attitude, getting stuff done. So yeah, over my years running workshops, I've noticed there's big underrepresentation of BMEs, that's Black and Ethnic Minority, and lower social economic groups within the coding field. And, I want to change this. So now with my new project, I'm at which is the Young Coders Meetups. I'm actually developing an outreach program as well, so that we can get into grassroots communities and get more people involved. Partnering with enterprise. So, this is about giving young people a value, and young people are going to have to face the next future business problems. And it's what I want to do more for young people and for the next generation. So I'm developing transactional pathways with enterprises and fintech, so that people can come to us young coders to come and solve their business problems. And we can give them a cool idea and stuff, but they'll give the people who find the ideas, a prize and stuff, and it's giving a value to what young people do. So this is the most important one. Can-do attitudes are what open source and ideas need. Like, nobody got anywhere saying they can't do something. I mean, it's kind of obvious. However, in everything we do, we always make sure that our basic principles stay the same. So always encouraging innovation and creativity. Always being fully inclusive. Being youth-led. Having the confidence to define our own journeys and pathways. So what motivates me? Well, over the years, since me doing lots of workshops, generally I get a lot of positive feedback and stuff, and it really motivates me to go out there and do better, because, when I use real feedback that I get from workshops and put it into new ones, it really makes me feel like I'm actually hitting the mark, what people expect in my workshops. And, if I'm going to be honest, it is actually kind of like the great opportunities I get. Like, coming to Facebook, going to America for a week to do a keynote, it's I have got to admit, it is kind of that. But then again, you have to work really hard for those opportunities. So I've been working on the PowerPoint for this for almost a week, and when I went to Red Hat, I worked on the PowerPoint for about a month and a half, Skyping twice a week with America, which was a bit crazy. But, it's kind of worth it. Oh, yes, so in the future, I want to create an overreaching platform for young coders so that they can come together, meet up, network, but also develop those pathways into fintech, business, and also solve future business problems. And we want to give them that collaborative and community-led environment and the career-ready skills that they'll need. Nope, wrong way. So yeah, wow, I've raced through this, haven't I? So yeah, I'll talk about this a bit then. So at the moment, I'm doing a new project called the Young Coders Meetup, and of course, I'm doing an outreach program with it as well. And essentially, it's the idea that there's events like this for adults, but how about for kids? I was quite jealous of my mum being able to go to all of these meetups at places like Facebook and Skills Matter and stuff. And I, with all the beer and pizza, and I was like, why can't I go? And she told me it's too late and it's on a weekday. So, I wanted to develop this sort of thing for young people so they can come together, network and find that collaborative and community-led space. And also, one of the other bits that I've been implementing as well is the ethos of open source around it. So after it's going to be a 6-month pilot, and after our 6-month pilot running about a day each month, where the coders can come meet up, we want to take everything, all the feedback, all of the statistics, everything, and put it into an open source handbook, so that we can make it so that young people from across the world can start setting up their own young coders meetups and outreach programs through crowdfunding as well. And we want to make it open source so that, I've heard some new words recently about it's like upscaling. So it's like taking something to the next level. So we want to be able to upscale this, and we think, as young coders, it'd be cool to do a little project around it and use some open source and stuff. So yeah, also yesterday, or today, was the last day of my crowdfunding campaign. However, I have just continued it. Yeah, I have just continued it, and I think you know what's coming. so that now it goes on forever. And if anyone's interested, forever, if anyone's interested, you can go to my website, which is hackfemo.com, and there should be a crowdfunding page. And yeah, well, there's a video on the crowdfunding page as well. And yeah, another thing, go check out hackfemo.com. You know, it's cool. I need to hit to my website. Yeah, I do lots of vlogs and stuff, and some stuff about what I've been doing. You know, I've talked to a VC about my business. I've done some workshops with some people called TickFest, because I have Tourette's myself, and that sort of brought me back to why I started coding, which was around, you know, like wanting to share my passion with others who can't get into tech in such an easy way, because they might not have or feel like they have the inclusive environment in which they can do that. Oh, wrong way again. So, my final challenge to you is to support young coders. In what way can you help young people be ready for the future? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Femi, can you just stay for 1 minute? Because we had a question. We had a question from someone remote, right? And the question to you was, Femi, what attracted you to Raspberry Pi as an open source platform instead of the alternatives?
So, the Raspberry Pi Foundation, if you didn't know, has like a massive community base. And when we started up, you know, we really got involved in the Raspberry Pi community, and they're really helpful, and that's where we did all of our first workshops and stuff. And then we set up South London Raspberry Jam, sort of took it to the next level. And to be honest, I'm not sure why we chose Raspberry Pi over everything else. I mean, I guess it was just one of the things that we were first introduced to in the community, and I just wanted to share what I knew with other people. But now, in fact, we've moved on. Well, we still do Raspberry Pi, but we've also moved on to doing stuff about microbits. But also recently, I learned about Facebook's React, and now I'm really into that, and I'm trying to use it to create a Young Coders Meetup website and app.
Excellent, excellent. Thanks very much, Femi. So everyone who has children aged 10 to 16, nephews, nieces, please, there is now a Young Coders Meetup when young people can actually code and hack and participate in workshops. So thank you very much, Femi.
Thank you.